Yes, I, Grenada, Kiareku, Pinimanik, the rest of the world. Welcome to another Mikey Live program. I'm your host, Mikey Hutchinson, and it is always my pleasure to come here nightly to do this program with you, of course, to interact, to have fun, and to talk about what's making the news here in Grenada and the wider Caribbean. Now, folks, we have a few things to tell you about tonight. All right, so let's just get right into it. PWU, that's the Public Workers Union, holds a meeting with its members, and we can tell you a little update in terms of what's happening. Lawsuit over LTE. A Solid Waste Authority warns about the conditions at Perseverance, and we'll tell you what that is about. And tickets for Buju's TNT concert goes on sale. Intruder rapes students at gunpoint in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're going to talk about that. 10,000 toys from Sandals for Christmas, and we are going to be discussing a lot of things on the program, so brace all yourself on the thing. Now, folks, we want to invite you to like, love, and share the program. You see, when you do so, that's how other people get to know that we are live. Now, there's a share button right on on the page for those of you who are watching via Facebook. So once you do that, then people will get to see. Okay, so at this point, I want to encourage you to share the program. We'd also like to extend an invitation to our YouTube viewers. Welcome back. And for those of you who are viewing on cable TV channels 10 and 11 WPG10, thank you for joining us. We are standard definition on channel 10 and high definition on channel 11. Now, folks, we are ready to discuss the news, reminding you that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean, Colombian Emeralds International, and WPG10. Now, when we come back, is real news in Olulililolo, so brace all yourself.
Visit Duty Free Caribbean for all your gift ideas. Duty Free Caribbean offers to you colognes, perfumes, handbags, and much more from top brands you know and love. Duty Free Caribbean. Own the experience this Christmas.
True Masqueraders presents the Johnny Walker Black Face Off 13. Friday, December 21st, the Spice Basket comes alive from 10 p.m. Get your masks on entry. Early bird general tickets $50, regular tickets $60, and early bird VIP premium all-inclusive $250. Regular price $300. Shuttle service from the Melville Street Bus Terminal. Dress code elegant. You must wear black. From Trinidad and Tobago, Patrice Roberts. Team Chaos featuring Naldo and DJ Quinn. Also, Grenada's Finest featuring Wasway. Flash. Vaughn. Your DJs Ice School, DJ Danny, and Kevlar Tone International. Tickets available at Grenadian Optical Town and Spiceland Mall, Heather's Boutique, Anke's Computer, Mitchell's Health and Wellness, Grenada to Go at Maurice Bishop International Airport, St. Andrew's Pharmacy, and Go to Fed. This event is sponsored by Johnny Walker Black, Smirnoff Vodka, Stag, A Man's Bear, Mount Gay Rum, Campari, True Blue Bay Boutique Resort, Leslie Shipping Agency, Grenada to Go, Specialized Automotive, Mitchell's Health health and wellness. Video Moments, Waggy T Rental and Sound Company, We FM Radio, Angie's Computer, Go To Fet, and On The Spot Hardware. The biggest event to touch down this December in Grenada. True Masqueraders presents Face Off 13. You must wear black.
Experience convenient and affordable learning with online and blended higher education programs from the UWI Open Campus. Access our quality assured degrees, diplomas, and continuing and professional education programs at a pace designed to suit your lifestyle. Ask about our prior learning assessment, which credits previous learning experience and fast tracks the completion of your degree. Own your future. Apply today. For more information, visit www.open.uwi.edu. The UWI Open Campus, opening doors to life-changing learning.
It's 8 deals of Christmas at Courts, December 17th to 24th. Enjoy huge savings each and every day. Shop at Courts for the lowest prices, widest range, and last-minute gift ideas. Plus, shop from the Courts Christmas wish list at the main branch from 4 to 6 p.m. daily for products starting at just $50. 8 deals of Christmas. Get what you need this season. Only at Courts. Courts, bringing value home.
Audio Jungle.
It is often referred to as the biggest night of the year, Old Year's Night. And this year, we head to Spice Basket for a night of melody.
Hello, people. Get ready.
As Island Productions presents straight out of Trinidad, the melodic Baron. Baron. Baron alongside Grenada's very own Shopri. Shopri. One night, 2 artists, 2 bands, one great occasion. Melody. Get your limited $60 tickets now from Mitchell's Health and Wellness, Excel Plaza and Spice and more. Gitters Pharmacy, Grandans, St. George's and Grenville. Grenadian Optical, Grandans and St. George's. Duty-Free Caribbean, Esplanade Mall. Maryland Shop, Bellevue. Licks and Bites and Kelly's Hotspot, St. John. Shai's Bar and Pierre's Barber Shop, St. Mark. The Big Lime Bar, St. Patrick. Maxie's Bar, St. Andrew. Buy Smart Supermarket, the St. David's Pharmacy. SOG Food, St. David. The event that celebrates the old and kicks off the new year with melody. Baron.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the program, folks. We are now ready to go. Now, the first story that we have to tell all you about, boy, is one that speaks to giving. And take a look at this beautiful picture, people. The program is about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. So we're telling you about the good. 10,000 toys from Sandals for Christmas. You understand? The Sandals Foundation people, as usual, went ahead and went around to give gifts to students and so on. They say for the past 9 years, Sandals Foundation has been partnering with toy stores and so on, manufacturers, to do this. And so this time, students of the St. Patrick Anglican Primary School and Paraclete Government School, they say they were ecstatic when volunteers from Sandals Grenada Resort visited. You understand? They say they get them real toys and things, boy, real goodies and things now. They expressed how appreciative they were for the toys and things like that. Although there was little entertainment and things with that too. You understand? Gifts were all and treats were also given to children of mothers in the program for adolescent mothers, PAM, the Blue Star Sports Club in St. John, and the Lime Development Committee. People, they say that yearly they have been delivering on average 10,000 toys, you know. You understand? No. You understand? All to give it some like and some love and some business, man. You know what I mean? Not everyone is doing this. And so they do the business, you all go get recognized. That's how we do. You do the business, you get recognized on the program. So big up to Sanders, Grenada, and then can have business and everyone else, all the partners and things. We don't know them like that. But big up all ya for making that possible, boy. That's nice. We are moving on to our next story. People cricket coming to Grenada. So as soon as the New Year strike, the Grenada National Cricket Stadium will be the center of attention. A lot of things will be happening. Alright? Top class cricket once the year starts. Now in January, that's on the 17th of January, the Windward Islands will engage Jamaica in the Cricket West Indies 4-day tournament. Alright? That happening here. And then on the 25th and on the 27th of February, we all know what's going on, by the 3rd and 4th one-day games between England and the West Indies will be happening at the National Cricket Stadium, by. So for all the cricket lovers, just know that all you had things coming for all you in 2018, take all the time and wait. You understand? Thing will happen. Thing will happen. You know what I mean? We're moving on. I don't waste time. We have a real thing to tell all you tonight. All you remember the young man boy whose leg got damaged, he was injured. You understand? Earlier this month. Well, a group of his friends, they are going to be having a fundraiser that's coming up on Saturday in front of Bucky shop. That's in Concord. Yeah, they're raising funds for Brent, you know, because they say they want to, his friends, you know, they say they want to fly him out and get some work done on his leg, you know. So his friends and people in the village and them say, you know what, let me see what best we could do for him, you know. So they have decided that they were going to do like a fundraiser and thing to, you know, to gather the much needed funds to get him out of here so that they could get some work done on his leg. You understand? So they're inviting you to come out and thing now. They're inviting you to come out and support the breakfast on Saturday in Concord. Breakfast, okay? Breakfast. And then they have also asked if you want to make like a donation and so on, you know, because Grenada small of always one, you know what I mean? And them the kind of business could happen to anybody. So let me get the number for all you. Call 418-1515, okay? That number again is 418-1515 if you would like to make a donation towards the cause, because not everybody could go up Concord on Saturday morning, because I have a busy morning and then kind of business, but you may still want to make some sort of monetary contribution, then you are welcomed to do so, all right, people? So go ahead and do that. Again, the number for you if you want to make a contribution, 418-1515. Remember, that's his friends that are doing this, all right? His friends have decided, hey, why not try to see if we can help him out in a way that we you know, that we can. And that's what they're doing. So they're doing their breakfast on Saturday, and then they are saying that if you want to make a contribution, call the number 418-1515. Like Trooper, you know what I mean? So call Trooper, and then he go organize for Brian, all right? Today, folks, the Public Workers Union, they had their meeting today, boy. The Public Works Building, 230 and Ning, and there were members who were present and stuff like that earlier. A lot of them people, in fact, there was one report that stated that everyone who at that meeting had their pay docked in December this month, by, you know what I mean? So what they're saying is the members have given the union a mandate, a new mandate. What is that mandate? They say they ain't talking about zzz. They are tight-lipped about the business, but here what it is. I will tell all what, no, I can't tell all what it is, you know, we have to give them the privacy. So they say to the media that they do not wish to disclose at this point in time what the new course of action is, you know, for several reasons. And so at some point in time, you would know what it is, but they're saying that they have a new mandate, and that all has to do with the current, should I say impasse? I don't know if it's correct to say impasse, because they're back to the negotiating table regarding the gratuity. Yes, that's what the discussion is about. And government is adamant that they cannot afford a 25% gratuity to teachers and public workers and so on. Public workers say, give me 25 and vex with me. And I mean, they have not been able to see eye to eye on this. Government continues to reject the proposal, the request of the unions, and the unions continue to reject the proposal of the government. So at this point in time, the whole negotiation has gone nowhere technically in terms of having a resolution, having arrived at a resolution. All right. Oh yeah, how we looking for time? We're moving on. Now the next story, people, that we are going to tell you about, it has to do with a lawsuit that everybody talking. And me say me not talking about no lawsuit on me program. I don't know if Dane me tell about lawsuit. Me talking about the lawsuit. But anyway, it's not about us. It's about what you want to hear. And so we will feature this report from Sherry and Noel that speaks to the whole situation, the LTE situation now, where a lawsuit is being filed against the National Telecommunication Regulatory Commission regarding issuing Digicel a license to operate on the LTE frequency. We join Sherry and Noel for this report.
Lime Liberty Flow has started legal proceedings against the NTRC and possibly ECTEL. During a meeting of the House of Representatives on Wednesday, Leader of Government Business, Honorable Gregory Boeing, told the nation that the company filed a complaint over the fact that Digicel has been granted a license in the 700 band, but they were not granted one, having applied at the same time. Digicel is now moving in the direction of the LTE mode of service providing.
At the point in time that the applications were made, that Digicel ended up with only in that special band requested, but Lime, Flow, Liberty, that one combination, had a clash for the same frequency with ILCOM. And so they were sent, ILCOM and Lime was sent to see how you can find some accommodation for each other. In the meantime, the frequency and the band that was applied for by Digicel, other persons were there, including Lime, but then they came to an understanding. And so since that band was free, it was given to Digicel. And now they're claiming, even requesting, that the license be revoked from Digicel. Because what we were calling local parlance favoritism. But it's just to let the public know that two parties applied for the same frequency. And so you didn't want to impose the decision to say, well, you get it and you do not get it. So we asked them to go together to find a solution. They did not find a solution, but because Digicel has moved ahead, they have now filed this in court.
Minister Bowen hopes there could be eventually an amicable settlement to the issue in the interest of all.
And Digicel is now moving speedily to implement some $384 million PPP partnership, which includes data center for the government, connection for schools, and connection for all government buildings, not only in Grenada, but Grenada, St. Vincent, and St. Lucia. So, Mr. Speaker, the public should be aware of this, and we will just allow the process to take its course. We hope that nothing will go contrary to stop the big investment and the big development, because education will be affected, people will be affected in the case if we revoke the license. And we'll only do this on a court order. So, but we hope that everything works out well, particularly for this season, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we hope so too. You know what I mean? Yeah, we hope so. Oh. And I mean, take a lot of time. And anyway, we'll leave that talk there. All right, so the next story that we have to tell all you about, people, how are we looking for time? The Solid Waste Management Authority again. They are advising persons of the threats of the situation out there in Perseverance, people. You know, a couple of days ago, somehow the tires and so on that was in that area caught fire. Now, this week we received information from the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, and they are saying that they are working together with the police, the Royal Grenada Police Force, to determine the cause of the fire at the Perseverance Emergency Waste Facility. You understand? Now, people, the fire engulfed a stack of tires, you understand, at the facility, and it was ablaze for days. Although the fire is not as bad as it was for the first 2 days, but yet it's there, smoke and all that, you understand? And so today the authority again told the nation through text messages and so on that you should be cautious. They are encouraging all motorists traveling along the Western Main Road in the vicinity of the Perseverance landfill to exercise extreme caution when approaching and driving past the area, as dense smoke and ash from the burning heap may reduce your visibility as drivers and so on. All right. Now, it has gotten better. Don't get me wrong. It has gotten better, but still they warn about it. All right. And while the authority continues to make every effort to extinguish the blaze, they say they want to extend sincerest apologies to all residents in the neighborhood. You understand? All the residents in the neighboring communities, pedestrians and commuters who continue to be affected by the dense smoke. They wish all the best. They say just be careful, all right, guys? Just be careful. Take a look at this thing. And that is not the exact area where that's not the primary dumping area, right? That's opposite the dumping area. They use that as an emergency area, you know? You know, when this place catches fire, it usually is bad. I remember the last time this thing burned for about 2-3 years. And let's hope that this is not going to be the case with this one here now. You understand? Because, no, we can't do that right now. And we are approaching the dry season, so you know that it's a whole heap of problems. All right, so let's hope for the best with that business. And I am thankful for the constant information that we are getting from the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority. I think they are doing a really good job in informing the general public of the possible dangers and so on when traversing that particular area. Yes, so I think it's fair to say that they are doing a really good job where that is concerned. Right now we have some fly-by-night Buju fans, but I small thing, we lead that right there. Tickets for his big concert, I Am Legend concert, they are now available online. You understand? Would you imagine that? Now, general admission for the tickets are priced at 400 TT, and VIP tickets cost 1,000. You understand? Yes, the concert is going to be happening in Trinidad, boy. Now, patrons will also have the option of VIP tickets, which is priced at $2,000. That's TTF people. Ain't bad. If it's not Bojo all you want, take Bojo. If it's Bojo you want, take Bojo. You understand? So they have like an official page and things like that. So they say that you could expect to hear songs like Boom Bye Bye. I didn't know Bojo could still sing that song. I know in 2018 you could sing that song in a public area. Now, no. So anyway, Boom Bye Bye is not an easy road, and all them big tune on them you could expect to hear in the concert. Alright, now the concert is scheduled to take place. There's going to be one in Jamaica in March. Yeah. Now, on April 21st, he'll be performing at the Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain. So for the people in Trinidad, April 21st. Jamaica, March 16. All the Buju fans and them kind of business. Yeah. Right. Somebody said the TT don't have value. Take all the time. The amount of Trinidadians here on the program. Go ahead. I will hear about all. I didn't even take it. Let me ignore that comment too. I'm playing out to see that one. So we're moving on. A little situation in St. Vincent, boy. that I needed to tell you about. Coming from the Eyewitness News, police are investigating 2 incidents of aggravated burglary of people. Indecent assault and rape. They say it occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:40 a.m. on Wednesday, December 19th. That was last night, boy. You understand? Now, according to preliminary investigations, says Eyewitness News, an unknown man armed with a gun entered the dwelling house of a 38-year-old domestic as a trespasser. When you say domestic, well, you know it's at home, right? Now, the man indecently assaulted the complainant and compelled her to go upstairs at gunpoint, they say. The man also reportedly raped a 15-year-old student who was in the house. You understand? And that's according to police. Now, police investigation also revealed that an unknown man armed with a gun entered the dwelling house of a 44-year-old person as well. He entered as a trespasser. The man reportedly raped a 16-year-old student therein. What? And according to the report, it didn't take long. You should, man, shame on you. What people like so, playing tossy and they say it don't even take long. Waste of time, waste of man. But when they hold you, they go deal with you. You know? When they hold you, because you know, same as the police, they go hold you anyway. You know, partner, they go hold you. So just go and gear up yourself. You know? Just go and gear up yourself. Let me leave that talk there. We're moving on. How we looking for time, people? There's a big story, boy, in Trinidad right now, where a young mother, first-time mother, gave birth to a very healthy baby, and 3 days later, she died. Now, her family is saying that something is wrong. That don't even make no sense. They say she gave birth to a very healthy baby. And is accusing nurses and so on. They say it has to be some form of negligence. She died of a blood clot in her lung. So they're saying, the family, they want justice. They say that a nurse refused to give the lady a bedpan. You understand? On Saturday. And while she was returning from the bathroom, she fell on the ground and died. You know, sometimes they'll ask you for a little bedpan and thing. If you feel like you can't make it to go to the bathroom and so on, you have for like a bedpan and thing. So they refused to give her that. That's according to the family's report. And so, fell on the ground and died. Her husband and everyone else within that family wants answers. And you can't blame them. You know what I mean? Healthy young girl, healthy baby, everything like that. And yeah, so she died. And so this is one of the things that they are looking into. Folks, how are we looking for time? I'm taking like a 10-second break or something like that. Put things together as we get ready to introduce to you Dr. Ansley Mokeke from the Divine Medical Center and Diagnostic Services. So we told you we were preparing for the doctor, right? So we have Doc here. Now we have Dr. Ansley Mokeke from the We have Dr. Anthony Mikey from the Divine Medical Center and Diagnostic Services with us, people. And we are going to talk about something that is very common. Gastroenteritis. We call it sometimes food poisoning, doc. We go talk to the doctor. Hold on, take all the time. So let's say hello and welcome to Dr. Anthony Mikey from the Divine Medical Center and Diagnostic Services. Doc, good night to you.
Good night, Mikey, and good night the rest of the public. And wishing everybody compliments of the seasons.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Doc. So we hear about gastro all the time, gastroenteritis or food poisoning. First of all, I just wanted to tell me whether or not gastroenteritis is the same as food poisoning.
Well, gastroenteritis and food poisoning, they are not exactly the same. There is a line of demarcation between both gastroenteritis and food poisoning. So I have to explain that. So when we're talking of gastroenteritis, food poisoning is part of gastroenteritis. So, and when we're talking of gastroenteritis, it encompasses most anything that could lead to any illness, form of illness that is related to both the stomach and the intestines, which might be in form of which could be either inflammatory or non-inflammatory. And when we're talking of inflammatory, they are caused by some other factors which might not be directly related to infections. But when we're talking of non-infective causes, we are referring to mostly infective causes of the gastroenteritis, which might be bacteria, viral, parasitic. And then we're talking of, when we're referring to food poisoning means that any form of illness that is related to food, eating food, or drinking water, either which might be contaminated by either of these bugs like bacteria, viral, parasitic. Understand it?
Yes, I understand it. Doc, so let me ask you this about food poisoning. Is it something that you see all the time while you're here in Grenada?
Well, food poisoning is very common, very, very common. It's one of the most common disease conditions that bring patients in the private practice and also. But the fact is that I wouldn't say that it's so common like that, but it's still common, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to explain the correlation and why food poisoning could be suspected in some cases. You see, not that when you see, the reason why we're discussing this is because this is a period when so many people are going to eat a lot of food. So this is a seasonal, this is a period of when people are going to eat so many food. So we're trying to make sure that we caution the public. But there's no fear with respect to that if you understand comprehensively in details what this food poisoning is all about, okay? Sometimes, you see, when there is an outbreak, we need to define what the time we should be able to suspect this food poisoning when there is an outbreak, okay? When sometimes you start suspecting different people, not just one person. Like, example, if Mikey is eating food here and he starts purging, having diarrhea, having vomiting, and having that, I would not say that he has food poisoning, okay? But I would suspect that if maybe a whole family, Mikey's family, everybody start having these symptoms related to food. And then when an entire community, when an entire country and most people in community and start having these symptoms at the same time, simultaneously, then we start suspecting food poisoning.
Yeah, but you know, one of the things, Doc, I notice, sometimes, okay, you want someone else eats the same food, you are likely to get poisoned. Now, let's say you do get poisoning and somebody else don't. Why is that the case?
Well, the fact is that, you see, it's not actually the food that usually causes this poison. It's nothing but the bugs. And what contributes to these bugs, that include in terms of contamination, in terms of how this food is being handled, how also the food is being preserved.
Right.
And also the temperature at which this food is also, it's also part of preservation, okay?
Right.
And then in terms of handling, because sometimes it's possible that the person who you're eating food with might not have washed their hands properly. You don't know where the person has put his hands or stick his hands into. And then in the process of eating food, those bugs or bacteria or the organisms or viruses are already sticked into the hands and then contaminating the food. Oh. And that's why you are exonerated. You are exonerated because you wash your hands properly and, you were able to sanitize, and keep your hands out of these bugs at optimum condition. But your partner who is actually eating food or sharing food with you might have been careless. Right. And that's how this person might have food poisoning, and you are exonerated from food poisoning.
Okay,
symptoms.
I understand.
Yeah.
So somebody who gets food poisoning, is there a length of time in which they can expect to be affected by that, or it's on a case-by-case basis?
Well, the fact is that this usually have a short incubation period, and that means the period when the organisms get into the body and the time when the symptoms start manifesting. But to differentiate food poisoning from other gastroenteritis and other, it's very, very likely that food poisoning might not exceed more than 16 hours. And any symptoms related to food poisoning should not exceed, it's not expected to exceed more than 24 hours. It's not expected to exceed more than 16 hours. And that's why it's different from others, other gastroenteritis illnesses.
All right. So in terms of how it manifests itself on the body, vomiting, diarrhea, and so you're saying that once the symptoms last longer than that, then it's very likely to be something else?
Yes, if it's likely, if it lasts for more than 24 hours, 48 hours, then we are no longer suspecting possibility of food poisoning. So rather it might be caused by, well, there are so many causes of this gastroenteritis or even food poisoning, but food poisoning most times related to bacteria, it may be viral or whatever, but most causes of food poisoning are actually linked with bacteria causes, okay? Right. But when you're talking of gastroenteritis is broader. It could be caused by these bugs, which might be bacteria, might be viral, it might be fungal, it might be parasitic, okay? Then it might be also due to some other conditions, like maybe for someone who has, there are some cases where people that have endocrine diseases, people who have something like comorbidities, including these endocrine diseases, and people who have some other factors, disease conditions in the body related to even diabetes or some other conditions, or what we call comorbidities. So people who were already diagnosed with other, and people who have chronic illnesses, people who have been sick for a long time, even people that have cancer, and these people still have the possibility of having this gastroenteritis. And sometimes it might be caused by medications and some other factors. So yes, medications, yeah, still causes, because there are some medications when people eat and drink or they consume these medications, they ingest these medications, they might actually think. I know some cases, some occasions where some patients will come and say, "Doctor, I'm vomiting, I'm having diarrhea, and could this be related to the medications?" Yes, I say, well, because of this, if these symptoms are almost the same period, almost the same time, or synchronizing with the time you're taking these medications, is actually, and there is a high possibility that this might be due to side effects or the adverse effects of those medications.
So, Doc, can someone continuously, for one reason or the next, just always have episodes of gastroenteritis?
Yes, it is a possibility, and that's what I'm trying to, and I've explained to you, that there are some cases, people who have chronic disease conditions, who have been sick and they were already diagnosed with one form of disease condition, and these people might be prone to having this continuous gastroenteritis. They might be having, and also people who their immune system is already suppressed, and they might react to different, exposed to some of these bugs. And that could be a possibility. And people who are were already diagnosed with some disease conditions, chronic disease conditions, which they have to depend on taking medications. And it is possible that in the process of taking these medications, they might still be having this gastroenteritis. They might be having symptoms related to gastroenteritis, example like vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal cramps and all that, even flatulence and bloating, and they might be having that. And some people in turn, because of food, because this most times that food has its peculiar link with respect to the this gastroenteritis. There are people who are having lactose intolerance, people who have something like chronic inflammatory disease conditions, and what we call ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. These are all secretory or inflammatory disease conditions related to gastroenteritis, and is something that happens for over a long period of time. So there are people who are prone and who could be prone to having this gastroenteritis.
How can you avoid getting gastroenteritis?
Well, one of the main prevention, or one of the ways to be cautious with respect to gastroenteritis, is one, to make sure that, to find out the primary cause of it, like I defined food poisoning. You know, of course, that's food poisoning is a type of illness that is related to, caused by ingestion of food or contamination of food, which food that is contaminated by some of these bugs. And so in terms of preservation and making sure that the hands are well cleaned and sanitized, and also making sure that some of the utensils used in terms of preparing this food should be well preserved and to be well treated and well taken care of, and making sure that the environments are all well taken care of, and also to make sure that water is an essential thing. So some people drink water that is not sterile and all that. So making sure that, you know, and also in terms of the temperature, because putting food in fridge where the temperature is not conducive for the food, and that could also be one of the factors. And then there are some that might be difficult to control, prevent, because a person who already diagnosed with some of these disease conditions or chronic illnesses might be difficult to prevent. So, well, when you treat the primary cause, the underlying cause of it, then you're going to prevent the possibility of the person having this gastroenteritis. And also, there are some cases where, in terms of traveling, because one of the causes of that could be traveling, okay? And when you travel, make sure that you eat proper food that will not be toxic to the body. So, and these are the ways to prevent that.
So, Doc, let's say someone starts exhibiting signs of gastroenteritis. gastroenteritis. What do you recommend they do?
Well, the fact is that there are the treatment modalities which is strongly recommended for folks who are already diagnosed with this and suspected to have this. First thing is to make sure that there are some types of food we're taking of home remedies, because this is public discussion. So we're going to emphasize more on home remedies to make sure that there are some basic things that must be done, which are already available at home. Okay, so it's what we call the type of diet where a person might eat. You call it brass diet or brat diet, a diet where you have something like banana, you have apples, and then rice, and then toast. So those could be very helpful in terms of prevention, and then also making sure that the person has access to water that is well treated, what we call an oral rehydration therapy, because one of the complications of this is that's one of the things to watch out for is what we call dehydration. That means person losing a lot of water, losing a lot of fluids. Okay, so in order to prevent that, it's always good to have recommended titration of this oral rehydration therapy, and recommended by the World Health Organization. And there is that titration must be balanced. You have concentration of sodium. Sodium might be, sodium chloride will be about 3.5, and then sodium chloride will be 1.5, and then you have also water, and then 1 liter of water, and then also have something like glucose, which might be in the proportion of 2.5. Okay, so when you put all these things together, and then sometimes just a layman might just work it out using a teaspoon of salt, full teaspoon of salt, and also four teaspoons of glucose, and then put it in water and that water must be about almost 1 liter, and you can dilute that with water of 1 liter, and then the person will drink it, and that's to prevent the worst case scenario, which is dehydration. And then once dehydration is taken care of, then other things might be fixed, and then you run to your physician. The doctor would know the next step to take. So these are the basic ways to manage that. And
what about things that you should avoid when you have gastroenteritis?
Yes, there are some things to avoid. Some people have this misconception. They think that when they drink something like Coca-Cola and all this food, all these drinks, high on even the sports drinks, and those things could actually provoke that. You know why? The reason is that sometimes there is a disequilibrium of a concentration of these fluids. Sometimes the carbohydrate and the sodium becomes imbalanced, and then the sodium and what we call the osmolarity of this fluid becomes highly concentrated, and that will become toxic, and then that will worsen the diarrhea and worsen the gastroenteritis. So there are some things to avoid, and these are ways, at least food, drinks high in energy drinks and all that should be avoided. And we must stick to this regulation. You must stick to this regimen, which I've already recommended at that phase and that stage. And then make sure that the proper food, this food that usually causes that, must be avoided, okay? And then make sure that you try to contact your physician or any health facility to assist.
All right. Doc, I want you to help me whether or not it's a misconception with regards to a term that we use, gas. Okay, we say we haven't had lunch or breakfast in a timely manner, and so our stomach starts to hurt, we start throwing up and so on, we say we have gas. Are we still talking about gastroenteritis here?
Well, you use the word misconception, which is fallacy, which is false, which is not believable. This is not acceptable. So when some people say gas because they're not knowledgeable, because they don't understand that, okay? Some people might just, because of the fact that they have bloating. Bloating is a form of, or even, that's what we call borygmy. Borygmy is one of the symptoms related to gastroenteritis, okay? And it's still linked with gastroenteritis because when someone has a sensation or having a feeling of gas, that might be related to flatulence. It might be bloating. It might be what we call borygmy. These are all symptoms related to gastroenteritis. So I want to know that, and I want to inform you that there is a positive correlation between that and gastroenteritis.
Okay, so what really happens, if you care to explain, when somebody doesn't eat on time and they get that burning sensation so badly, and then you feel like you're throwing up, there are things walking in your stomach. What's really happening to the body there?
Well, in that case, we are talking of something different. So we're linking it to something different. And that might be something related to peptic ulcer disease, or it might be something called gastritis. And that means that the acid is quite, the concentration of acid in the stomach has actually, there is a disbalance, and the acid production, acid in the stomach might have been increased and causing what we call an ulceration, and causing the break and the destruction of the lining of the stomach. And in that case, what happens is that the person might start having a type of pain or having kind of feelings or symptoms related to food, and the person might start having the symptoms and having some related symptoms, because there is still a link between what we call this gastritis, or when we're talking of gastritis, we're actually linking up with the symptoms related to what we call Helicobacter pylori, which is still related to an organism and also sometimes there are some medications that could cause gastritis, okay, which mostly what we call some of these medications related to pain relieving or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications or steroids, okay? So this could cause gastritis. And then we also have on the other side of it, where you have the peptic ulcer disease, where you have also duodenal ulcer and gastric ulcer. Sometimes these are disease conditions related to food, because so in that case, this person might present with some of these symptoms and thereabouts. But there is still ways to differentiate that from gastroenteritis. Because in gastroenteritis, the person will have these following symptoms. We have abdominal pain, and also as well, the person will be vomiting, having nausea, and then person will be having diarrhea, and with all that. And then occasions when the person will be having bloating and all that. And so these are all linked with the gastroenteritis.
Okay, all right. Doc, good. We have someone asking for your contact details and stuff. We're going to get to that, folks. Doctor, we are running out of time now. I do not know if there's any area of this topic that you thought we should have discussed that we missed, that you want to take the opportunity.
Ask very intelligent questions this night. I'm so happy with that. And since we're wrapping up the year, I think we're wrapping up very good, and I like that. So, well, we try to wish our viewers Merry Christmas in advance. And the topic is a very interesting topic. So, and it's a topic that I want everybody to watch. This program is very important, because I don't want a situation whereby in January some people start going and having these terrible symptoms, and hey, anyway, that's good for me. My pocket will be rich. Yeah, that's it. But we're trying to help the public anyway. But it's not possible to avoid food, okay? So, so I wish most of you, Mikey asked very intelligent questions, and I really love that. We covered most of the basic and the silent. In fact, he was able to dive into so many areas which I really appreciate. We were able to discuss gastroenteritis, food poisoning, then a bit of gastritis, then also peptic ulcer disease, and then ulcerative colitis, and most of these, we covered almost everything. Okay, so that's important.
All right, Doc. And before we wrap up, can you just remind us about the Divine Medical Center and Diagnostic Services once more?
Well, Divine Medical and Diagnostic Services, we provide different range of services, which includes general practice, family medicine, specialist services, laboratory, and then physical therapy, ultrasound, and we provide various range of medical services. And then we have our phone numbers, which includes 4211529 and then 4351539. Okay, at the moment we are consulting in Sates, and hopefully we might be able to change the pendulum very soon as possible.
All right, Doc, thank you very much. All right, all the best to you as well for the new year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Good, folks. And of course, that's all we bring to an end this segment of the program with Dr. Anthony Mikey from the Divine Medical Center and Diagnostic Services. We take a break and return shortly.
It's 8 deals of Christmas at Courts, December 17th to 24th. Enjoy huge savings each and every day. Shop at Courts for the lowest prices, widest range, and last-minute gift ideas. Plus, shop from the Courts Christmas wish list at the main branch from 4 to 6 p.m. daily for products starting at just $50. 8 deals of Christmas. Get what you need this season. Only at Courts. Courts, bringing value home.
We listened to what you had to say and tore up the old rules. Because losing what you paid for is just wrong. Now, lost data and talk are a thing of the past. Only Digicel gives you unlimited rollover data and talk. Just buy and renew your QuickPick bundle before it expires and keep what's rightfully yours. Never lose what you don't use. Go to My Digicel app to bundle up and roll over today. Digicel.
Experience convenient and affordable learning with online and blended higher education programs from the UWI Open Campus. Access our quality assured degrees, diplomas, and continuing and professional education programs at a pace designed to suit your lifestyle. Ask about our prior learning assessment, which credits previous learning experience and fast tracks the completion of your degree. Own your future. Apply today. For more information, visit www.open.uwi.edu. The UWI Open Campus, opening doors to life-changing learning.
It is often referred to as the biggest night of the year, Old Year's Night. And this year, we head to Spice Basket for a night of melody.
Hello, people. Get ready.
As Island Productions presents straight out of Trinidad, the melodic Baron. Baron. Baron alongside Grenada's very own Shortbreed. Shortbreed.
I love it.
One night, 2 artists, 2 bands, one great occasion. Melody. Get your limited $60 tickets now from Mitchell's Health and Wellness, Excel Plaza and Spice and more. Gittins Pharmacy, Grandans, St. George's and Granville. Grenadian Optical, Grandans and St. George's. Duty Caribbean, Esplanade Mall. Maryland Shop, Bellevue. Licks and Bites and Kelly's Hotspot, St. John. Shai's Bar and Pierre's Barber Shop, St. Mark. The Big Lime Bar, St. Patrick. Maxie's Bar, St. Andrew. Buy Smart Supermarket, the St. David's Pharmacy. SOG Food, St. David. The event that celebrates the old and kicks off the new year with melody. Baron.
Folks, welcome back, and just before we wrap up, we would like to at least give you an idea as to what the weather will be like for tonight and possibly tomorrow. Okay, and we get the information from the Met Office. Now, the weather for tonight is expected to be partly cloudy and windy with light showers. All right. Maximum temperature 30.0 degrees Celsius, minimum 23.5 degrees Celsius. So it's going to be just a little chilly tonight. Winds east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas moderate, waves up to 8 feet in open waters, and tides, well, should be low now. Tomorrow is going to be Friday. The sun is expected to rise at 6:23 a.m. and set at 5:48 p.m. Tomorrow's weather is expected to be partly cloudy with a medium chance of some light morning and nighttime showers during cloudy spells. Maximum temperature is expected to be about 30.5 degrees Celsius and minimum 23.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas moderate, waves up to 7 feet in open waters. And let's take a look at Saturday as well. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy with a medium chance of some brief occasional showers. Saturday's temperature is expected to be about 30 degrees Celsius at high and low 23 degrees Celsius. Winds east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas moderate, waves up to 6 feet in open waters. All right, so we gave you tonight's weather, Friday's weather, and for Saturday as well. Okay, guys, and we're going to touch base tomorrow, God's willing. Again, we see that we have exhausted all our time for tonight, but we'll say hi to Trevelyn, Nika, Carla, Esther, Neki, Melly, Clesilda, Tammy, Suzette, Neki, Kirin, and Trevelyn, Daria. Also, we see here we have Zaka, we have Ezran. Who else? Well, I said Kirin already, right? So we have Kevin with us, and Nika is with us as well. We have Angela, and who else we have? Well, the usual suspects. All right, Colette is there with us. I see Colette, you're maintaining your star. That's good. Peter is here with us as well. And so many of you, Sharon Rush, you're maintaining your star. Aliyah Peters, hello to you as well. So some of you are able to maintain your top fan star, while some have lost their top fan star. Of course, Patsy has lost her star. I don't know why. Patsy, you need to interact a little bit more so that you can regain your star. That's what needs to happen. All right, so folks, that's it right there. We say thank you for joining us, and we're looking forward to another interesting program. Dora, Cambridge, big up yourself, and big up as well. We're looking, Lorraine, big up, and Irma. All right, my sister Lintona is there. Zaka, I see you. Hazel, I see you. Danica, I see you as well. All right, so many of you, man. Well, thank you for watching, and don't forget Michelle, guys, and Eunice and Melly, I see you already too. Don't forget to share the program. All right, that's important. Every one of you on the program right now, share the program so that other people will get to see it. All right, for every person who shares this program, imagine the possibility of 100 more people seeing it. All right, and that's why we want you to continue sharing the program. God bless you. Have a good night, folks. And for those of you looking at WPG10, thank you for viewing as well. That's channel 10 on cable, and channel 11 standard definition, channel 10, and high definition channel 11. We'll touch base with you guys tomorrow, God's willing. Looking forward to another interesting program. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja, no. Good night, everyone.